Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I make this delicious sourdough crust pizza dough. So we're going to start off with our active bubbly starter. We are going to be using 150 grams of our starter. So I go ahead and start off by putting the starter in my bowl. I do 150 grams like I mentioned, and then I mix it with 375 grams of room temperature water. You can also use warm water to speed up the process, but I wanted my pizza for dinner, so I just put room temperature filtered water. So I did 375 grams of that, and then I mixed the two ingredients together until I got a horchata color. I guess to me it's like horchata. People say it's like a milk color, but to me it looks like horchata. But I got them very well mixed up, and then I go ahead and add my 500 grams of bread flour. I have used all-purpose flour also before, and it turns out perfectly fine. So if that's all you have, go ahead and use that. So I use 500 grams of the flour, and then I go ahead and add 10 grams of salt, and I go ahead and mix everything together. I've seen recipes where people add the olive oil in this step right now, but I like to add it once my dough has doubled in size and it's ready to shape to either put in the fridge or bake with. So you're gonna see that in a bit. So once I get all the ingredients together, I just go ahead and mix all the ingredients. I make sure that it looks like a shaggy dough. I don't overmix or any of that. And I just let it sit on my counter until I do the first set of stretch and folds, which is after an hour. And then after an hour, I do stretch and folds every 30 minutes. And I do 4 sets of those. So this right here is my third stretch and fold. I didn't want to film every single one, but I'm just showing you guys here. I do 4 stretch and folds. I do 1 stretch and fold. I turn the bowl a quarter of the way and then continue doing it all the way around until I get all around the bowl. And then I cover it and let it sit for another 30 minutes. And here I show you guys the 4th stretch and fold. That way you guys can see the consistency of the dough. You can tell that it's not shaggy anymore. You can tell that it has some like elasticity, and it looks like dough. And once we're done with the 4th stretch and fold, I let it sit on my counter for another, I think, 6 hours. It takes 8 hours from the moment I mix my dough to when it's done. If you were to put warm water when you first mix the dough, this would probably be done sooner, but I needed it for dinner, so I just put room temperature water. So I let it sit on the counter, and then once it was ready, I did a little poke test, and it wasn't sticking on my fingers anymore. So I went ahead and added the olive oil. I just drizzle a little bit. I just eyeball it. I've seen recipes that say 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So you can go ahead and do that if you want. I just eyeball it, and then I just get the oil a little bit incorporated into the dough, and then I just go ahead and cut this dough into 2 because we are going to be making 2 pizzas. So for this video, I just filmed myself making a classic pepperoni pizza because it's for my kids. I also did a dessert pizza, which I didn't film, but I do add a clip at the end to show you guys. It's basically like a s'mores pizza where I just add chocolate chips and marshmallows, and it was so good. But here I am just shaping the pizza dough. I don't use a rolling pin or anything, so you don't need any fancy equipment for this. I just use my hands. It's not the perfect circle shaped pizza, but it came out really good, and you know, it looks all right. So go ahead and shape your dough, and then you add the ingredients of your choice. And once you add all your toppings, then you go ahead and preheat your oven to 450. I put a baking sheet in there so it could preheat with the oven. And once it's preheated, I go ahead and add the pizza dough on there. and I bake it for 20 minutes at 450 degrees, and the pizza comes out perfect. Here, I was starting to add the pepperoni, and my daughter asked me to do a smiley face. So that's what I did, but obviously I continued adding more pepperoni all around the pizza. That way, you know, we can get a pepperoni in every bite. So the pizza came out really, really good, and I hope you guys try this recipe. And let me know if you guys try it or if you guys have any more questions. And I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Let me know if there's any other recipes you'd like to see. But here is the pizza. Look at how fluffy that crust is. And my kids love it. I love it. And, you know, it came out so, so good. And here's what the slice looks like when it's cut open. And the s'mores pizza, like I promised. But thank you for watching.